I can't believe I'm actually live right now. I don't even know if this is working. My heart is pounding. I didn't realize this would be so. I didn't realize this would be so scary, and I have no idea if any of you are going to be joining. Today we are doing a pronunciation lesson. uh, hey guys, yo! So I can see a few people are joining. So we've got Janojan, hey, we've got George Thomas. Yo, gotta give you a shout out. I haven't forgotten about that. Giving George Thomas a shout out. We have Goodvid Batard on YouTube. Hearts back at you. We have Moja, Kanman, Beza, Dan, Murari, Vanakkam, Briedeklinge. Aladdin, Sarah, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. We've got Bets, Nina, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. This is my first ever live. Can you guys hear me okay? Because this is the first time I'm doing this. And I would love to hear your feedback for this. Vakam, Regen, Briedeklinge. We've got a load in. Okay, you guys can hear me. Amazing. So, guys, today I wanted to give you guys a platform to ask me any questions that you want. And yeah, just kind of join me on this pronunciation lesson. I have a book that I have with me. And we're going to be learning, English pronunciation together. But also, if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to pause and answer your questions. So I've got a question here. Kannaner. Vanakkam. Thanks for joining. Can you please tell me how to pronounce power? Okay, so power is pronounced with quite a heavy W sound. So power, power. Now in the American accent, it'll be power, so you can hear kind of like the R sound rolled and kind of sounding like a pirate, power. But in the British accent, it will be power, power. So as you guys know, I speak with RP, which stands for Received Pronunciation. And people have also kind of told me that I've got like a mix of like a London accent in my accent as well. So there's something called multicultural London English. And this is kind of like a new accent and dialect which has emerged since the 1980s. So that's how I would pronounce the word power. Okay, so we've got Ashok, which you're asking how to pronounce fungi. Amazing question. I actually did a video on this on my Instagram. I have a biologist friend, a YouTuber friend, who was teaching me how to pronounce fungi. So she pronounces fungi as fungi, and I pronounce it fungi. And you notice with this pronunciation, fungi, I don't actually pronounce the N heavily. Fungi. I'm not saying fun guy. I'm saying fungi. Fungi. Hello, English with Eliza Rose. Let me just quickly read your comment. Yeah, happy. Yeah, I'm always happy to collaborate. Feel free to kind of message me on Instagram. English with Eliza Rose and son of proud Indian mother. Okay, thank you for the racist comments coming through on my live chat. Would love to see a video on the Scottish accent. Ooh. I don't know if I can do the Scottish accent very well. Okay, there's like a little sun patch. All right, let me just adjust the curtain. Okay, I'm back. Would love to see a video on the Scottish accent. So Scottish accent, apparently there's also various Scottish accents. Now I've been to Edinburgh and there's also the Glaswegian accent and it has kind of different features. So I'll definitely try and kind of practice a few words. I know one word which is wee, which means little, and they use kind of different words in the Scottish accent. But I'm not even going to attempt that because my Scottish accent is quite bad. Hi, Alonso. Yeah, I remember you. Thank you so much for your comments on my videos in the past. Um, you've been a proper supporter of my channel, so thank you so much. Uh, I couldn't get the difference between RP and MLE. Right. So MLE, which stands for Multicultural London English, is a dialect which emerged in the 1980s. Now, this is spoken by people in London, and it's kind of like the accent which you hear spoken in day to day. You think about Stormzy, think about Adele. These are really famous artists, and if you listen to a few interviews with them, they have a strong MLE accent. Now, RP is the kind of accent that you would hear on the BBC. So you can kind of hear those two differences there. I suggest you kind of watch an interview with Stormzy. If you don't know who Stormzy is, he's a very famous British rapper. So yeah, go check him out. And if you hear his English, that's Emily. Just going to read through a few more comments. So Legend Plays asks, I have heard it differs between American way of saying good luck, good evening. So the way British says good differs, and how do you say it exactly? So I'm not quite sure how the Americans say it, but I can definitely help you with the British pronunciation. So I would say good luck, good luck, good evening, good evening. So we have, let's break it down a little bit. So good, good. So I'll give you some time to practice that. Good. Uh, and yeah, so in the Indian accent, it would be good, good. So you can, let me say those two for you so you can compare and contrast it. Good, 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 good. So in the Indian accent, it would be good luck. And in the British accent, it would be good luck, good evening. And also, a really good tip for you to sound even more British is you would kind of hear people dropping the G sound at the end of evening. So you get a bunch of people who would pronounce it as good evening, good evening, good evening. And so you can notice I'm not saying good evening, I'm saying good evening, good evening. But yeah, I hope that helps. So Clean Legit asks, were you born in the UK and having Indian roots, or you were born in India? Okay, so yes, I was born in the UK. I was born in London, and my parents are from Sri Lanka. So I am ethnically Tamil. Do, 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 do. I failed to. Gurvid, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there. You've commented, I failed to crack the IELTS exam because I have a lack of confidence. Sometimes I forget the simple words in front of examiner. What should I do? Help me. Okay. Ooh, tough question. Sorry to hear that you failed your exam, but don't let that kind of knock your confidence. Look, no one gets it the first time round, and if you are determined and if you're willing to put that hard work in, it will pay off. So please don't lose motivation. So you're saying you forget the simple words, right? Yeah. You know, whenever I enter kind of exam conditions, the stress does get to me. So you're not alone there. You're not alone. What helps in this situation is, I think, you might have a lot of skills. So obviously I haven't taught you before, but you come across as a motivated student, and clearly if you're taking this exam, you've done a lot of practice. But what happens is on the day of the exam, we get extremely anxious and scared, and we kind of like lose our thoughts. And this is quite a natural thing to happen to us. So what I suggest is, number one, calming the nerves. And we do that in a number of ways. So the morning of the exam, we have a nice breakfast, and we don't actually try and cram last minute. Our brain works in wonderful ways, and it's able to retain things over a good number of months. Now, if you've had a good sleep, that actually impacts on memory retention. If you don't get a good sleep and you're stressing the night before, that's actually proven to reduce your capability to remember. So that's one piece of advice. Ooh, oh my God, this is incredible. I did not expect to receive this many comments, so thank you so much. I'm gonna start on the lesson very soon. Just gonna answer a few more questions. So Najat asks, how can I improve my speaking skills? No easy way to answer that. One, I would kind of listen. Okay, so speaking is also influenced by listening, right? So I would suggest listening to kind of British podcasts, listening to British news, watching British films, and kind of listening out to key phrases, key sounds which make it unique. And if you're struggling with that, there's plenty of free resources on YouTube, and definitely get out there, get listening. And the second thing, I guess, is confidence as well. How we improve our confidence is kind of saying things out loud in front of a mirror. That always really helps. Kind of hearing yourself speak, and yes, we will make mistakes along the way. But if you want to improve your speaking skills, you've got to allow yourself to make those mistakes. You've got to allow yourself to hear yourself and improve that way as well. Speak Bangla, please. That tech guy, I don't know Bangla, so if you want to teach me a few phrases, go ahead. How to pronounce tango? Okay, so kannan ner, tango, tango. So this has got the O sound, which is very kind of unique to the British accent. It's not tango, it'll be tango, tango. What is your so George Thomas asks, what is your hardest word to pronounce? Hardest word to pronounce? Hardest word. There are so many difficult words out there in the English language. I think, I guess when I was younger, the word onomatopoeia, I guess that's a difficult one to spell. But yeah, that's the first kind of word that comes to mind. Whew, doing a live stream is difficult, kind of putting me on the spot. So Sadia says, why did you ignore my question? Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore your question. I'm trying to get to everyone here. Okay, so let me scroll back up. Hey, I'm an EFL teacher from Pakistan. I like the British accent. I sound like British 50%, but I want to sound like British people 90% to 100%. How can I achieve that level of accuracy? Is it possible? I do think it's possible. Of course, it requires a lot of hard work, and it requires persistence. So, to a certain extent, yes, we have influences from our mother tongue. I'm guessing your mother tongue is Urdu. My mother tongue influence is Tamil. So, I want to sound like a British person 90% to 100%. This is a really kind of deep question. It's impossible to answer in one video, but kind of linking into the points I was mentioning earlier with confidence, listening to podcasts, listening to the news, listening to kind of native English speakers speak. That's also one of the reasons for my channel as well. I make daily videos trying to help you guys, with the British accent. And there's plenty of also free resources on YouTube as well. But yeah, if you feel free to also message me on Instagram, and I can definitely kind of give you any more tailored advice. Answering general questions is really kind of it's difficult because like with these questions, there's no ever one simple answer. The general kind of answer is hard work, persistence, and kind of utilizing the resources around you. Sophia asks, how did you come up with an idea of being a teacher and a photographer at the same time? Hello from Russia. Hi, spasiba. Thank you for your question. So that's a very good question. So teaching has always been my passion since, since I was doing my GCSEs. And I've always loved helping people. I think I really enjoy seeing people improve. And also there's something about teaching, I started off teaching kind of young children. My first ever student was a small child. She was 5 years old and she was Tamil, and English was her second language. And it was such a joy to be able to teach her in my mother tongue and watch her improve. It was really beautiful. But at the same time, I was always really passionate about photography and videography. So I decided, you know what, I enjoy both, so I'm not going to make a decision to kind of choose one. That's why I'm doing both at the same time. So, you know, I've got this educational learning platform on YouTube, but at the same time, I do videography. I love making travel vlogs. If you guys want to see more travel vlogs and kind of like cool aesthetic videos, head over to my Instagram, which is @Anpu London. Okay, let's read through some of these questions. This is so exciting. Anna says beard looks good. Thanks. Whew. How to pronounce this word? Okay, I'm going to come up close and read it properly. So Crazy Gamer has challenged me to pronounce this word. Hopefully I'm not going to make a fool of myself live. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see the comments right now in live chat. So guys, go to Crazy Gamer's comment and let's see if you guys can pronounce it as well. So the first part is Otorino, Otorino Larry, Otorino Larry, naringologist, 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 rhinolaryngologist. Let me try one more time. Oh my god, that's so difficult. Rhino. I can't do it. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna work small. We're gonna make it larger. So, geologist, geologist, rhinologist, rhinologist, laryngologist, laryngologist, rhinolaryngologist. I can't do it. This is too difficult. I've got other questions to attend to. Well done for that question, though. That's a beautiful word. I don't know what it means. Feel free to let me know in the comments what it means. So Kangesh says, "Hey mate, your accent so good. Appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate your comment. It means a lot." Ooh, this is a really good question. So Rotterdammer asks, which accent is popular and widely spoken in London? Very good question. So I'd like to get down to this in a little bit more detail. So London has a big variety of accents. You guys have, obviously heard of RP and Cockney, the famous Cockney one, but also the MLE accent I spoken about earlier in this video. So I would say it's a mix. It really is a mix. And what you find is that different pockets of different parts of London have slight different accents, and also your accent is kind of is shown to be kind of linked to your class as well. So if you're from working class backgrounds, that is in, like kind of attributed to certain accents. And if you're from middle class backgrounds or upper class backgrounds, you would have a different accent. So it's very hard to kind of specify and pinpoint which accent is most prevalent in London. Now, let's take me, for example. I have lived in London for all of my life, actually. And I live in South London. And I view accent as a spectrum. So imagine we have kind of RP here, and we have MLE here, like a thick Emily accent, kind of like the accent that Stormzy speaks with, and then we have BBC kind of RP accent. I kind of fluctuate between this spectrum, and so not only do we have one accent, we kind of flick between accents depending on the social settings. So Londoners in a professional environment, in kind of like an interview setting, not only me, I've kind of heard my friends slightly change their accent to be more RP. But then when you're with your friends, people kind of slip into Emily. I'll be like, "You're right, bruv. You're right, bruv. Yeah, proper chilling, innit? Proper chilling." Like, I would never say proper chilling, innit? Like, in a job interview. So that's how I would answer the question, is that kind of everyone has a spectrum of accents, but you do find that variety in London, which makes it such a beautiful and diverse city, and it's just amazing. Bum, bum, bum. This is amazing. Honestly, I thought no one was going to be joining me for this live stream, so I really appreciate you guys being here. Honestly, it means a lot. It means a lot. And you know what? I didn't even plan this live stream. I have this book in front of me. I still haven't even opened the book because the questions are kind of rolling in. I can't believe I'm in live streaming for 20 minutes. Amazing. Um, okay, so let's try and find a few more questions. Rambo Poulet says, "What age did you went to London, and how did you ace?" Okay, so I've grown up here. I've lived here my entire life. I was also born in London. Someone says medical terms are always perplexing. Absolutely. As 399 English says, the accents in London are very interesting. I really enjoyed my vacation there in 2009. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. It's a wonderful city. Just wanted to point something out. The word vacation, British people don't use the word vacation. We use the word holiday. So vacation is an American term. Painter of Light says, I am your big fan from Pakistan. Your videos are quite helpful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. That's halfway across the world. It really means a lot. George Thomas says, where do you live in the UK? I live in South London in a town called Thornton Heath, also where Stormzy is from. I have seen, so Legend Play says, I have seen that you do use the glottal T start, sometimes but not always. And would you tell us when you recommend to use it because you use it in words once and sometimes without? Really good question. I do use it without sometimes, don't I? Yeah, so I think in professional situations, you wouldn't use the glottal stop. You would pronounce the T. But it kind of with friends and in colloquial situations, colloquial just basically means informal. Friendly situations, I do tend to drop the T more. And YouTube is a really interesting one because, you guys are my friends and I'm just having a chat with you, right? So I'm not saying chat, I'm saying chat. And so I do slip into kind of like a friendly tone with you guys. But also when I'm doing accent tutorials on my YouTube, sometimes I just stick to RP without the glottal stop. So it's really interesting. Anna says, hey, saying hey back. Jobin Bible says, say bonkers. Okay, bonkers. That is bonkers. Britisher. Arav says, is Britisher a wrong word? I've never heard Britisher. I've just said British people or and someone from Britain. What? How would you say? Let me know in the comments below. Is Britisher a wrong word? It's a good question. Right. MS95. Hey, thank you for joining. You guys, you always comment on my videos, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Right, we're going to start. I'll come back to the questions in a second. This book it's been on my lap, and I kind of wanted to read out a few quotes and do a little pronunciation lesson with you. Okay, it's really interesting because I can't put the words on the screen, but I hope it's still useful. So there's a bunch of quotes in this book, and I would like to read it out for you. It's way more important to know how to take a picture than to use a camera. It's way more important to know how to take a camera than to use know how to take a picture than to use a camera. And this quote is by Olivia B. Now let me help you with the pronunciation of know. So it says know how to. In the Indian accent, it'll be know how to. Know how to. But in the British accent, it'll be know how to. So it says, her currency is the beauty of imperfection, the rawness of blur, the fogginess of grain, and the energy of an off-kilter composition. So the fogginess of grain. So essentially, this is kind of talking about how grain can add a really good kind of effect to the images. In the visual hinterland between clarity and confusion, Olivia B captures the emotional spectrum of youth, those ups and downs, that vagabond spirit, and the mental and physical growing pains we have all experienced at one point or another. These are human qualities that are hard to express through photography if everything is correct. The problem, however, is that cameras are perfectionists. Everything about their design and function is intended to help the user create perfect pictures, and new technology constantly sells us improved image quality. That's why, like so many emerging photographers, B prefers to work with the emotiveness of film rather than the exactitude of digital. In so doing, she embraces the risk and challenges that notion that good photography should be technically flawless photography. Okay, so if you do have any questions, okay, so legend says the term Britisher is absolutely wrong because it's not even a correct slang term. Britisher word is usually used in several South Asian countries. Interesting. Okay, does anyone have anything to respond to that? Banana pajamas. Love your emojis. Okay, so so let me kind of help you with a few words in this paragraph. So we have the word photography. I've heard photography being mispronounced due to the stressed syllable. I've kind of heard it being pronounced as photography. Photography. No, it's photography. So I'm going to pause now. I actually want you guys to stop and say it out loud because no one's going to hear you, right? So I'm not going to hear you. So practice that. Photography. Photography. I'll give you 10 seconds to say that out loud. Photography. Let's pick out another word. Ooh, so this sentence says everything about their design. So the word everything, everything. Now, a lot of my students do struggle with the pronunciation of the th, everything, everything, everything. So if you struggle with that pronunciation, I would suggest kind of taking time out and learning about the th sound. So this one is often mispronounced as everything, everything. So it's kind of like it's a heavily pronounced, and in the British accent it's quite soft. It will be everything, everything. Amazing. So let's pick out one more word from this passage. Emotiveness. I love that word. So let me read the sentence again. B prefers to work with the emotiveness of film. So it's not emotiveness, it's not emotiveness, it's emotiveness. So have a go at saying that, guys. Emotiveness. I actually genuinely want to say that. I want you to say this out loud. And feel free to kind of like film yourself and send me a video on Instagram. I'd love to kind of see you guys practice. And yeah, I'll be able to give you some feedback as to how you sound. But take 10 seconds and pronounce emotiveness. Emotiveness. All right, fantastic job. I'm going to answer some more questions now. So, I'm actually astounded by the number of comments. I did not expect to get this many comments today. Okay. Okay. 399 English says, "Can you say my full name?" Yep, I'll absolutely have a go right now. So, Sean Preston Winchester. Sean Preston Winchester. I've always imagined it would sound very snooty in a British accent. Where are you from, 399 English? Are you American? So yeah, that's how I would pronounce it in the British accent. Sean Preston Winchester. Lovely name. Lovely name. So D.K says, how would you pronounce my name? Ooh. Is it Danish Ahmed Khan? Danish Ahmed Khan. Also, what words should I use for my blanks in between sentences? Ooh, good question. By the way, before I answer that, one of my good friends, his name is Ahmed, and this is a really interesting one because British people pronounce this name as Ahmed, but he was kind of teaching me to say Ahmed, Ahmed. Now, of course, I know that pronunciation probably isn't perfect, but I do try and attempt to pronounce it how he'd like me to pronounce it. So, what about you, Danish Ahmed Khan? Do you kind of do you want to rate my accent 1 to 10? How well did I pronounce your name there? Oh, and to answer your other question, also, what words should I use for my blanks in between spaces? Okay, so in British English, we have particular interjections, so kind of single words that we say to express emotion. So, like, oh, really? So these are kind of interjections that you would use. So to fill in the spaces before starting a sentence, you could say, "Oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah, because that happened to me too. Oh, really?" Or we could say, "Oh, oh, huh, uh-huh, uh-huh." Um, so what word should I use for my blanks in between? Could you elaborate on your question? I hope that kind of answered your question. Um, let's go to another question. Banana Pajamas just asked me, "What's your thought on the Northern English accent?" Horrible, right? No, it's not. I view it as beautiful. Like, no, it's not horrible. I actually do view it as beautiful. I don't know why you think it's horrible. Um, by Northern English, do you mean Scouse? Do you mean Liverpudlian? I actually really like it. So, ooh, okay. Someone's commented in Tamil. Now, my Tamil reading is quite slow, so but I'm going to try and read this. So, Adamukha has commented, uh, ooh, Tamil Varga, which basically means Tamil live on, and I completely agree. Um, let's pick out another comment. So Arnav says, "Hey, bruv, can you put up a comparison between the English and the American accents?" Of course, I love making these kind of videos. Let me know if you enjoy watching those differences. I think it's a really useful video to make because, as I was mentioning in one of my videos, if you kind of speak with a British accent, or if you come to London, there are situations where you might use a word that Americans use that we don't understand. So that's the first thing. So it kind of impacts on communication. And secondly, if it's one of your goals to kind of sound like a local, then using American terms will kind of give you away. So those are kind of two reasons for why I really enjoy making American versus British videos. I should probably do one like on like spelling as well, because there's a lot of kind of American and British spelling differences. Oh, Legend Plays says, "How would you say this name?" I'm not sure. I really am not sure. I don't know anyone called Zia. I would pronounce it Zia on first glance. But what I would always do, you guys, if you've got a name that you don't know how to pronounce and the person that's in front of you, just ask them. So just be like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Could I ask you, how do you pronounce your name?" I've done that many times, and it's not disrespectful to ask someone how to pronounce their name. What is disrespectful is to kind of butcher their name in front of them. The amount of times that people have butchered my name is absolutely ridiculous. And so I think you should definitely just kind of ask that person. So if there was a person called Zia, I would attempt it once, and then I would say, "Oh, did I get that pronunciation right?" I really appreciate it when people say my name. They might get it wrong, but then they kind of supplement it with, "Did I pronounce that correctly?" And then I would kind of go ahead and correct them. So yeah, that would be my advice on that. MS says, come to Bosnia and we meet my country and language. I would love to come to Bosnia. I've never been. George Thomas says, what's my full name? I've made a video. I've actually made a whole video just about the pronunciation of my full name. So here it goes. My full name is Anberesen Sivakumara. Anberesen Sivakumara. So that's the kind of Tamil pronunciation of my name. I wish I could kind of, should I type? No, it's fine. Go watch that video. So in the British pronunciation, my name would be pronounced Anparison. In the kind of ethnic pronunciation, it would be Anberesen. And my short name, my nickname, my family name, Anpu. Anpu. But in the British accent, it's pronounced Anpu. Anpu. Arnaf says this comment section is getting bombarded. I was expecting 2 comments, 3 comments max. So this is literally making my whole day. And you know what? I'm actually really glad I decided to do this. So thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just gonna take some time to just pause and really thank you. I don't think I've actually properly said that to you guys in a video. So I'll say it to you guys now. I really appreciate every single comment. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. I love reading through all of your comments. That's why I make an effort to really respond to all of your comments. You know, I think it's courteous to respond because you guys have taken the time to comment on my video, and I will always try my best to respond to your questions and respond to your comments. And I love having a conversation, you know. You guys know me, I do respond to kind of not only just positive feedback, I respond to constructive criticism as well. If you guys have any kind of thoughts, I will respond and, you know, want to create love in my community. Obviously, I'm not going to respond to like racist comments, but anything within reason, like I'm so happy to respond, and I really appreciate all of your comments. So let's read through a few more comments. Free99 English says, you need a moderator. Yeah, I think I do. Okay, I'm going to try and get through all the questions. Okay, so Crazy Gamer has commented my name using Tamil letters. Let's see if you spelt it correctly. Perfect. Perfect spelling there, Crazy Gamer. So Legend Play says, so I've got a couple of words I have heard from you, especially when you say it, that, better. Most of those words you say it sometimes with a T and sometimes not pronouncing it at all. Very good observation. Yeah, I do actually change my pronunciation of these words quite often. And like I mentioned before, I think it would depend on the social setting. If I was in kind of like a professional environment, I would say better. If I was with my friends, I would say better. King B says, can you spell real name and then tell my country name? Ooh. Can you spell my real name? What do you mean by that? I mean, you've got your name there. So you've got Kul Bahudur Karki. Kul Bahudur Karki. Is that how you pronounce your name? Let me know in the comments below. And then you're trying to say, make me guess where you're from. Okay. I'm gonna take a random guess. Is that from Iran? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Right, we are gonna do a bit more kind of practice. I just noticed it's gotten a bit darker, so I'm going to open my curtains again. This is the thing about British weather. It was sunny like half an hour ago when I started this live stream. Now you look outside and it's gloomy AF. Right. Okay, so King B says, no, you are somewhat right about my name, but not the country. Let me know the country in the section below. Okay, we're going to flip to a new page. We're going to pick out a few words and we're going to continue on with our pronunciation lesson. Okay, so we've got a quote here. A photograph is usually looked at, seldom looked into. A photograph is usually looked at, seldom looked into. That's a really interesting quote. So for Ansel Adams, a physical photograph, like a painting, should be regarded as an object of supreme craftsmanship in its own right. The difference between photographs and paintings, however, is that we tend to instinctively look at photographs for what they depict. In effect, it's very easy for them to simply become stand-ins for the actual subject or take on the role of an invisible vessel. Adams overcame this through sheer technical mastery. He used the sharpest lenses. He waited days for the light to be just right. He invented the zone system to calculate the optimal exposure, and his rigorous darkroom methods created prints of supreme tonal range. Fascinatingly, this obsessive pursuit of clarity and detail resulted in physical photographs that didn't just rival the beauty of nature, they beat it. In this case, one of the most iconic photographs of Snake River, the precise composition, textural sky, and control over tones creates a highly seductive and romanticized version of reality. Never mind the hand of God. When we look into this photograph, we are presented with the hand of Ansel Adams. So here's the photo, guys. Feel free to take a look. So I really love the part where it says, in this case, one of his most iconic photographs. Oh, sorry, the bit where it says, the photograph didn't just rival the beauty of nature, they beat it. So what do you think that means? Rival the beauty of nature. They beat it. So it's kind of almost saying how, so rival means kind of combat and kind of be against something. So it won the battle. The actual photo looked better than the actual scenery itself. So it's kind of metaphorical language being used here. So let's pronounce a few of these words. We have rival, rival, beat, beat, craftsmanship, craftsmanship, romanticized, romanticized, invisible, invisible, reality, reality. Also, you can hear this one sometimes pronounced as reality, reality. So in multicultural London English, it'll be pronounced as reality. Look, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. So I'm dropping the T's here, and it becomes a reality. In RP, it will be reality. Okay. This live stream has been going on for 45 minutes. I've really enjoyed every second of it. Before we go, fire away with your final questions. What would you like me to do? Would you like me to do a bit more reading? Would you like me to help you with a few more things? Okay, so some of these questions, man. Okay, what area is okay, so I'm not going to answer that question. What? So 399 English says, very successful live stream. I hope to see more from you. It's been great, but I have to take care of my 3 daughters now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support, guys, and thank you for joining me. You do really need a moderator just to help you with your live, especially with the racist comments and spams. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, I'm not one of those kind of YouTubers with a manager or moderator or anything like that. I'm a freelancer, and you know, I'll take any of the abuse that comes my way. But you're absolutely right. I do need to find a moderator for future comments in my next live stream. So thank you for your constructive feedback there. I'll definitely have a think about that. Okay. I can't do this. Okay. I can't answer some of these questions, so I'm just putting that out there. But yes, I will bring this live stream to a close. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I will definitely do one soon. You know what? I do actually want to do this quite regularly. Come up with a kind of like a lesson structure and a plan. And if you guys have found this kind of live format useful, I'm more than happy to do more live streams. So, you know, as you guys are aware, I'm uploading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry that sometimes that's been slipping, but I am aiming for 4 videos a week. But I can actually make one of those videos a live stream. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about is I upload at midday, and I don't know if that's a good time for live streams. I don't know if you would be able to join me. So let me know in the comments below if you would prefer that to be on weekends, on a Saturday. I'd be happy to make time for that. And yeah, just let me know in the comments below. But yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful, guys. Let me just see if there's any kind of final comments. You know what? I'm going to leave on that really nice comment from Learn Coding. Oh, there's a few more comments coming in. Let me just read them out. Learn Coding has provided me with a really beautiful compliment. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Made my day. Jordan Grimer. Hey man, loved your tutor documentary. It should be seen by so many more people. Thank you so much, Jordan. I really appreciate that. That was kind of like my passion project. It took me 1.5 years to make. So it actually means a lot that you have watched that. Yeah, it's like a 45-minute documentary. It took me 1.5 years to make, lots of filming, but you know what? Every single second was worth it, and I really, really enjoyed kind of making, you know, a film-like documentary that I've always wanted to do, and it kind of links into geographical themes, which I am equally as passionate about. Hello from Russia again. I'm going to enter a university and I'm planning on becoming an interpreter. What do you recommend me do to struggle with my uncertainty? Ooh, that's a really interesting question. Planning on becoming an interpreter. You know what? I will kind of give you a voice note on Instagram, so DM me on Instagram. But this, I have to end this live stream. But guys, this live stream has been incredible. This live stream wasn't even planned, so the turnout was amazing, and I really appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, have a good day, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, and I will see you in the next live stream. Cheerio.